We got ourselves beautiful boys over in Team Red. Team Red is ready to go, man. We got ourselves Adrian. I'm gonna guess his name. Well, I'm gonna guess also Dutch Warlock. Oh, a nice little kitty cat you got going on there. That's a nice cat. We got Manatho here as a shadow place. Hasn't got to play so far. Necro on the same team as Tiz and Angrisa. On Team Blue, we got ourselves Athaman. We got ourselves Goketsu. We got ourselves FaZe Yawashi. They're missing a guy, but hopefully they won't stop him. Nice weapons, FaZe. That's like the Black Hand fist weapons, right? Like the BC Black Hand. Or no, Shattered Hand? Yeah, Shattered Hand. Or is it? I don't know the name of that tribe for the orcs, but like the Fel orcs or the general orcs. But I'm pretty sure that fist weapon is from the guys like Shattered Hand clan. What do you call him? I forgot his name. He's like super pale. He looks like a WoW gamer back in WoD. It's gonna be Abomination dropping down as the disarm comes in. Necro actually chooses to go for Trinket onto the disarm just so he can get the damage out. Stun to Goketsu. As the Karma rolls in, Necro just popping an AMS. Goketsu unable to heal from a Karma as the necrotics are stacking up on him pretty high. So it's actually going to be out of options just in a moment or two. Dropping that Touch of Death onto Necro while Touch of Death is up. I think this man is just committing maybe way too much damage. Dropping in a Diffuse Magic. Has a wall if needed. Necro could go for a massive grip. Yoink in the back of the open. Goketsu unable to heal any of this. Fully necrotic down. In gap onto Necro. The pet is still beating him up. Goketsu uses all that health. And down it goes. What just happened? Did he have to borrow health from a trinket? Is that what happened? Jellyfy joining Team Blue as a fifth person. Oh, you got the weapon from Black Hand. There we go. That's a cool weapon. It's gonna be FaZe up next versus Necro. I don't know what happened to Goketsu, but that man just committed maybe a little bit too much. Maybe a little. I don't know. Maybe a little too much. Blade Fist. Is that what it is? Blade Fist. That sounds about right. Man, I used to be like kind of up on WoW lore. FaZe, you look so funny with those massive blue fist weapons, dude. They just look comically big. Necro is gonna hide some line of sight from FaZe as he's flying up in the air with the rain from above. And Necro needs to get himself a full setup of pets. Should have him available sometime soon. Cooldowns for Unholy DK are very small or short. You have Abomination, you have the Army, that's a whole 1.5 minutes CD as Necro does get hit with a bike, but that's gonna go for a Lichborn, summoning up Abomination. It's gonna be full army up and running. FaZe is gonna go for a full Metamorphosis, stunning all the pets. That's a lot of cleave, that's a lot of flames to the fodder right now. But this man just survive if he wants to, but looks like he's more in a retreat, away from all the pets. He's getting pelted from afar. FaZe taking a bit of damage, really needs to turn around and start attacking all these pets. That's a lot of army for him to just cleave down. He's gonna try to see if he might be able to tag Necro here or there. It looks like FaZe is under recovery little by little. Necro is gonna get himself death backed up and running, trying to activate it early so he might be able to live and wait through all the necrotics. And then heal up after. It's going to be his 2-minute cooldown down for a bit. Lichborn available in about 13 seconds. He will have plenty of defenses. AMS still available too. And he still continuing to pressure FaZe. FaZe flying up in the air. Perfect opportunity. Has good line of sight of Necro. Necro actually trying to find some good line of sight. Decide, you know what? I'm going to walk up. I'm going to death coil at FaZe. Get his health lower. Maybe refresh the dot or two because FaZe is super low in health. Does go from prison onto Necro for just a second. That's going to be more death calls flying at FaZe. Barely any health left. Needs to get himself full I-beam rolling. That pet interrupted the big old beam. And that's going to be Metamorphosis enabled, but the pet stun on that I-beam is just so perfect. Eliminates that haste, doesn't let you channel it. It's just a nice stutter to the playstyle of a Demon Hunter. Jellyfy is going to be up next. Storms are up and running versus Necro, who got himself Lichborn up and running. Necro, though, I think this man's been stacking versatility. He's looking very survivable so far. Looks like his survivability has risen drastically. And Death Knights, I mean, they nerfed the healing, but now with all the versatility you got going on, it really doesn't feel that bad. The pets are going to be all over him right now. Does give himself a re-opener onto Necro. Was that a Blood of the Enemy or was that another proc of something? He's just getting trashed right now by all this pets. He's getting completely blasted by every pet available, but actually might have been able to turn it around onto Necro, landing that Warlock Hailstone from Adrian. And Jellyfy looking to get himself wall up and running and trying to get the hell out of that situation. Needs to catch himself a couple of regrowths. Needs to get himself in a good situation. Needs to rally his cooldowns. No more wall available. He needs to at least make sure he has enough health to fight the DK, but being on Runes of Lordor, you don't really have a lot of good line inside. That massive pillar down the middle, and actually maybe the Thorns play might be what Jellyfy needed. Got himself a little bit of energy, few cooldowns, Thorns up and running. Necro is just looking to keep this Feral next to him. Has Death back if he needs to. That's going to be a Maim. Doesn't get to use Death back. Trinkets out to make sure Death back is going to be available. Overlapping the stun with the pet stun. Death back comes in as the Feral is looking to escape. It looks like Jellyfy is just looking to get the hell out of that situation, letting the bleeds do work onto Necro. Necro needs to wait until those necrotics are out before he can really start playing very defensively. Jellyfy is just trying to play the out sustain game with Necro, but that's going to be Army of the Dead rolling up. Abomination should be joining this fight very, very soon too. Jellyfy is just getting overwhelmed by all those pets, and Necro does take him out. That's 3 people back to back Team Blue. Do you have a champion to fight against Necro? Is it going to be the moment my man Atho, the corrupted paladin, charges in against the Death Knight? I think it is. What kind of a build is Atho going on? Grip by Necro, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe he wants to keep Atham at a rage. He does need to get some healing. Execute set is up and running. Necro could pop AMS in order to try to stop the next stun, because that is Execute set is up. Hodge, he does go for Lichborn. Blood of the enemy coming in for Atho, trying to go for a big setup. Stun by Necro. He does go for a dress trinket, but that does get split between him and the pet. Necrotics are coming up for Necro as Atho trying to see if he can just blow the Death Knight away, but maybe all the versatility is giving to flow. That pet definitely soaking dress helped a ton, but Atho still got so much damage. And down goes your boy Necro X. Made the best of a play as he could. Tiz is going to be up next. We'll see if Tiz is able to. Tiz ties? I like Tiz. I like Tiz. It's probably ties, but I like teasing you, Tiz. What's up? It's going to be Atho getting hit with the disarm as Tiz. Just to get himself a setup. Once you see the images, there they go. I think he's going to try to see if he might be able to get a lineup. Needs to force cooldowns out of Atho. But that Hand of Freedom is going to keep the Paladin tussling and muscling. Got him some wings up and running. It's going to be Alexium Dresser gathered by Tiz into a touch of death. Atho might have to bop or bubble this one unless he has enough health to deal with it. Does he though? He does. Tried not to get interrupted on a cast. His health is super low. Needs to not get interrupted on a flash of light. Might be a bubble here. Shield of Vengeance before anything. Got himself a defensive. Might be able to survive with it. Gets a slow into Tiz. Does get himself a small heal in just a second. That's going to be Shield of Vengeance up and running into Atho. Does bubble this. Shield of Vengeance is super low. Bubble not stopping him from being able to stay in Ring of Peace. And does take down Tiz with nowhere to go. Trying to bank in the Ring of Boopity Bob with a bubble. Keeping him immune. And Menatha is going to be up next. Menatha got himself a full setup with a Siphon and everything. Trying to see if he might be able to make a play. Big silence onto Atho. That's going to be a greater fade by Menatha. Hodge by Atho just to get away from Menatha for just a second. He's going to hit him with Execute Sentence. Menatha, if he has a lot of versatility, this man might be able to actually stand toe-to-toe with Atho. Blood of the enemy comes out. Atho going to get him with a mind control. He tried to dress Menatha, did quite a bit of damage, but that mind control does separate him and does minimize the damage of that Blood of the enemy. Big Vampiric Embrace coming out from Menatha, having to go for the Disperse at 80% dampen. It's going to be quite rough. If he has another CC chain against Atho, well, Atho has a Blessing of Protection. It's not going to stop anything. Stun onto Atho. Menatha needs to get some big setup rolling right now. Does go for a big Siphon. Mind control, keeping Athoman out in the open. Does not want to give him any line of sight whatsoever. Athoman is going to go to the pillar right next to him. The mind control kind of sort of worked, but kind of didn't. That Siphon got in quite good cast in as Athoman went for flashlights. That Siphon still was channeling at him, so it's 50% reduced with 21% dampening. Kind of rough. Silence of the Athom. As Menatha trying to make some aggressive plays into a fear. Doesn't sit in a fear long. Does adaptation. This is going to proc for him. Menatha won't have a stun for a bit. Greater Fate is going to be proper here. Will not be able to mind control Atho for quite a while. This is where Menatha needs to go for some sort of heals. Needs to go offensive. Actually, no, the stun is back. Does he have the corruption that gives the cooldowns back faster? Because that could be huge with a stun. Intro mind control, keeping Athaman away. Does go for a siphon to get a slow on him, but Atha does get a shield of interest to pop on top of Manetho. And next up is going to be Angrisa looking to end Athaman right now. Angrisa has the dispel needed in case Atha goes in for a blessing of protection. Cannot really protect himself against Angrisa. Has to go for wings. There's going to be a melee rolling into Atha. Needs to heal as much as possible, trying to flash the light. If Angrisa just goes to a fell rush around the corner, that could be the end of Atha. Barely any health left. Bob could come out. It won't really stop a lot of the damage. Blood of the enemy coming in for Atha. Dressing up, trinket onto Angrisa. Does get hit with a stun. It looks like Atha might be down for the count. Atha, barely had any health left. If only he just got some sort of a self-heal. In the moment, he might have been able to survive. But it's going to be Angrisa versus Yawasha as one of the last few left. Adrian still left on Team Red as we hit in the 9-minute mark, boys. Almost the 10-minute mark. 30% dampening causing in. Getting a shot by Yawasha, trying to get as much damage as he can. Big dress with a crucible onto Angrisa. Does landing interrupt onto the I-beam. And Yawasha could actually go for the full bleed base setup. Blind onto Angrisa as he goes for meta. And no trinket out of the Demon Hunter. No trinket available for this man. Yawasha, did you get clipped? I think this man might have got clipped with that blade dance. And that's going to be Tentacle's clip, and it won't be able to get the proper CC onto Angrisa. No saps available for that one. That's going to be Darkness down for Angrisa as he just got so much offensive pressure right now. Just so much offensive pressure. Big old I-beam right now by Angrisa to follow right next. Getting shot by the Rogue. Does he go for a setup? That's going to be a Vendetta right now. Huge damage. Angrisa doesn't shrink it at all. Might have actually been too greedy. He's going to get himself a Crucible heal in order to keep himself up and running. Short stun onto Yawashi. Flying up in the air. Yawashi got himself Cloaker Shadows rolling. He can actually get a full... Actually, that's going to be Cloak as well as a Vanish. You can still land a sap onto Angrisa. You could land that sap. Angrisa is not out of the game just yet. He has a trinket by the looks of it, unless he's playing Relentless, which he might be. Imagine you're playing Relentless. He knows the Rogue is back there. Wants to charge at him. Sap comes in still either way. I think he tried to get himself a big old I-beam to follow, but it didn't. Yawashi could still have it here, man. Kidney shot. Unless Angrisa has a trinket right here, this is going to be down for the count. It's going to be dressed to follow into a short stun onto the Yawashi. Does he have somehow turned it around? Didn't really go too far with the virtual treat. Does activate Blur for just a second. And Yawashi does get hit with a mallet, though. Not a lot of stuff healing available, but as the Demon Hunter dies, the mallet does dissipate. And Agent is going to be the last one left. I'm pretty sure Destro Warlock, right? Going to give Yawashi a little bit of an honor. Those hitting the 12, almost a 12-minute mark. Boys, dampened at 41%. Yawashi doesn't really have a lot of heals available. Trinket and Invasion not available for 30 more seconds. That's going to be followed by Cloak as well as a Vanish. Doesn't really have a lot of defenses to deal, especially if this is a Destro Warlock, and it is a Destro Warlock. Dropping down the Rain of Fire. Yawashi's going to have to be very, very, very careful here with the CC chain. There's going to be that Succubus CC. No way out of it. Does at least land a stun onto Adrian. That's going to be Fear to follow. Immolate right after. Into an interrupt onto that Fear. Adrian could go for big old Casbolt. Yawashi better be careful. Does go for Shadowmult to try to juke out away from Casbolt. With a road to follow. That's going to be an Infernal down onto him. He does shrink it out of that Fear or Infernal CC. There's going to be a Smoke Bomb for a second. Actually can sit inside of the Smoke Bomb and try to dodge Casbolt, but actually walks out of it at the last second, short of stun, and Adrian does take him out. That Smoke Bomb play actually was really cool. I thought maybe he might be able to come out of the top there. It's going to be Atho, capping on 3. Necro, capping all 3. Crazy amount of duels we got here, boys. I have 0 verse. Oh, really? Man. How are you surviving then? With 0 verse? Damn. Alright, boys, let's get another one going, yeah?